Samuel Bean, Houston, Texas. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Sam?
Hey man, I can't miss your coming out party.
What was that?
I said, you knew I was gonna be on deck. I can't miss your coming out party.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, and all the leaders they're about to come over when they realize what's going on.
That's what's up.
That's the good
That is
part.
what's up. Yes, sir.
Guy John in Brooklyn, New York.
Welcome, welcome.
Sir.
JD, Festus, Missouri.
Candy, Houston, Texas.
And
Alton
hey,
Campbell,
this
Queen.
is Barbie talking through a sign language interpreter, and I'm in Chandler, Arizona.
Carlton Campbell, Queens, New York.
Kathy Jewell, Houston, Texas.
Carla Wynn in Maryland.
Idris Alaka, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, but just make sure that you got a lot of fish to do. So.
Jerry Washington, Frisco, Texas.
Coming from Jacksonville, Florida.
Morrison Thomas, Georgia.
Hi, good evening, Shireen Phillips, Trinidad.
How's everybody doing tonight? This is Jabari in Atlanta. Let's go.
Recording in progress.
Hey, good afternoon.
What's up, Jabari? This is Chris from Long Beach, California. Glad to be here.
Money making Maryland's in the house. What's up? What's up?
Let's go, Maryland. That's the #1 state, if you ask me.
Numero uno. Cali, step up.
And some of these chapters there, it might be. My goodness.
Where
are you out of?
San Antonio, Texas.
Welcome. Where are you out of, Hans?
Maryland, the #1 state.
Ah, there you go. That's why. Oh my goodness.
That's all right. Texas won't be too far behind y'all, so don't get too comfortable.
I know that's right.
Well, this is Gabby from Orlando, Florida, chiming in.
Orlando.
Orlando's in the building.
Yeah,
Jessica from Downey.
Chris from Corona, California.
Go, Chris. C-Max iPad.
Dale Boudreaux, Louisiana, via Texarkana, Texas.
Love it.
Seattle, Washington.
Jabari from Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's right. Y'all thought there was a scammer in the chat. See, we got another Jabari. What's up, Jabari?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Daniel from Bakersfield, California.
That's hilarious.
Welcome, Daniel.
Hey, fun fact. Jabari and I have known each other since like 2016, maybe sooner. And we have yet to meet face to face. But that's all going to change at Metro Factory.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Finally.
I'm excited. I'm excited, bro. Virtual.
Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia. Thomas Watson.
What's up, Thomas? Let's put it
What's up,
on the map.
Hey, what's happening, brother?
Good to see you, man.
Shannon from Chicago.
Chi-Town. Go Bulls. Go Bears.
Yeah, that's right.
Bears aren't
See,
doing too
see,
good. Bears aren't doing too good right now.
I
So
know.
that's why Jabari does so good. If he's got customers from Chicago, he knows their favorite teams. He's got people from Houston, he closes them. He knows their favorite teams. You know what I mean? So he's just charismatic.
I'm BFS with everybody.
That's right. That's right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just chiming in, let us know your name and where you're calling in from.
Hey, JC, this is Roberto and Jennifer from Rancho Cucamonga.
The power couple, welcome.
Mark Stewart from LA.
Johnny Cordova, Orange County, California.
Roy from St. Louis.
Hello, hello, Kathy from Long Island, New York.
Nueva York.
Hello, everyone. Anthony from Boston.
All right, let's take a couple more. Let's take 2 or 3 more, then we're going to get this training started.
Brittany from Buffalo, New York.
Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Luis Rangel from Downey, California.
Welcome.
Ignacio, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
JD, the guy that's going to be the biggest seller in solar in the state of Missouri.
Let's go, JD.
All right, welcome, JD.
That's what I like to
All
hear.
right, we're going to get this call started. I'm going to mute everybody, and we're going to get this call started. Let's see. Mute all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is, let me make sure that I'm recording. 1 sec. Am I recording? Is this oh, yeah, it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Millionaire Mentorship Zoom. This Zoom happens every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern via the same link, letsbuild.com. So you guys want to make sure that you put this in your calendar. You don't want to wait to be reminded. You want to make sure that you automatically are on here because guess what? It's a calendar. You want to schedule success. You're going to always get $1 million earner that comes on to these trainings and trains you on how they did it on different subjects from team building to leadership to sales to mindset, and you name it, right? So before I get into introducing the speaker for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure that you guys know of some updates that are happening, right? Tuesday and Thursday, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, there is a English business presentation via the same link every single Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. On Tuesdays, followed by that is a 6 p.m. Spanish presentation. Lastly, make sure you guys got your tickets to Mentor Factory. Mentor Factory is about a month and a half away. Trust me when I tell you, you're going to get some value from today. You're going to get this gentleman that's going to be training that day as well. It's 8 hours on Friday, October the 18th, and 8 hours on Saturday, October the 19th of non-stop training on what? On sales, on team building, on duplication, on leadership, on scripts, you name it. We got the best of the best. This is a 4th annual Mentor Factory. And let me tell you, it always sells out and it always delivers. So you guys want to make sure you get your tickets. If somebody could please do me a favor and put the link in the chat, that would be awesome. Tickets are almost sold out, by the way. What the hotel already confirmed, they're not getting any more tickets. We can't get a bigger room. That is the biggest room that they have. And once those tickets sell out, there's always people. I'm telling you, there's going to be the 4th year. There is always people that say, doggone it, I wish I had gone. Trust me, get yourself to California, October 18th and 19th. And we're going to do some very special things on Thursday, the 17th as well, that I'll be announcing soon. So the speaker that I'm going to introduce for today, I want you guys to get your notepads ready and get your mental track shoes on. The speaker that I'm going to introduce today is somebody that got started in the industry, and I'm going to let him get into his story, but he was a New York City detective. He knows how to, he's dealt with the bad guys of the bad guys, right? He knows how to tell when somebody is telling the truth, when they're not telling the truth, very street savvy, but he got introduced to the world of business and network marketing through an insurance company, a huge insurance company that everybody will know. He made millions with that company in his career. He built one of the biggest teams in the fastest growing office in his area. Then he sold that business for millions of dollars and went out and retired to the Dominican Republic. Then after a couple of years of being retired, he says, what in the world am I doing retired? I need to be building, because he's got that itch. He's a leader. He's also been the owner. He came back, owned his own network marketing company. I think some crazy number, like 20,000 people in the first like 60 days they enrolled in that company. Okay. He knows how to build teams, ladies and gentlemen. He's made millions of dollars. I could not think today of a better person to be doing the Millionaire Mentorship training than Mr. Mike Check, Mr. Ed Ayala. Can I do a mic check?
Yes, JC, can you hear me?
I can. The floors are yours, my friend.
Awesome. Give JC a big hand. Thank you for building this great company. That's number one. And don't ever let the press go to your head. Never forget where you come from, right? That all sounds great, but I remember where I came from. And I'm going to share with you guys that. But before I do that, I want to say this, okay? I sincerely, JC, it's the first time I get to speak in public with you guys, right? From the most bottom of my heart, and I can speak from my brother Julio, we are beyond grateful for what you and Wences have put together. I can't tell you how appreciative we are, because here's why. I don't need to do this anymore, right? Just like Sam Bean, Danny Pacheco, right? There's some of us here that we've made it financially. We've got money coming in. The bills are paid from our real estate investments, whatever it is, right? We ain't got to work no more. And it's such a pleasure to wake up every morning when my 2 feet hit the floor and I'm excited to build network. Folks, I hope you get that feeling when you don't got to do it for the money, but you do it because you enjoy it. And I really enjoy it. So you guys have put together a Picasso, a masterpiece. And I just hope that we can convey the message, right? Sam Bean and all the leaders, Kevin Marino, all of us. I hope we can do a good enough job every time we meet with you guys, whether it's over Zoom, whether it's in public, to express the gratitude that we have. You have no idea, okay? Because, you guys have done extremely well, right? They've made millions. They didn't have to do this, guys, okay? It's a lot of work, okay? I built the company from scratch. It's a lot of work, and a lot of times people don't appreciate it. So throw some love in the chat that you appreciate JC and Wences. That's the most important thing today. Throw some love in the chat there. Where are the hearts? I don't know, whatever you want to put in there. Okay, I also want to thank our team. Our team, you will get to know us very soon, okay? We're called Team Fast and Furious, and that's because, we don't want to build slow and calm, right? That's the opposite of fast and furious. We don't want to be slow and calm. We want to be fast and furious, because one thing I have learned about business, you got to get all you can get when it's there. And I don't know how long the tax credit is going to be there. I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. But all I know is right now we got a shot to change our lives. I'm talking, this is big money. I thought I made big money before. I know, Sam, we thought we made big money before. No. This is the real big money. We're talking, you're going to start seeing people and hearing people talking about not 7 figures a year, not $1 million a year, $1 million a month. You just do the math. The money's there. We just got to go get it. So I want to thank our team, Fast and Furious, Julio, too many leaders. I don't want to leave anybody out. Javier, Davis, Erjan, Josh, everybody. We've got a lot of great leaders. It's scary how many great leaders we got coming on board. We're just getting started. So we've been here basically since the launch, right? A couple of weeks ago. And we got this thing on fire. All right. So I got my notes, so I don't want to forget anything. Yeah, what I want to do is, listen, I don't have these beautiful super professional slides that you guys put together and build. Man, those are some beautiful slides. I'm just going to give it old school. I'll put some stuff together here. I hope it's okay. Let me share with you, first of all, my story. And, sometimes it was always weird to me. Like, I would tell my mentor, why do I got to, why is it important to share my story? He says, because here's why. You can help, if you can help one person in that audience, 2 people, 10 people, 20 people in that audience where they say, you know what? Man, if that guy could do it, I can do it. If she could do it, I could do it. Okay? I'm nobody special, but I did not come from money. Okay? So let me share here real quick. Share with you my little screen here. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. So let me show you. I'm gonna go way back here. Not way back when I'm in diapers, not that way back, but way back. Okay. All right. That's where I was born. Jefferson Housing Projects, okay? And I was born and raised there. Parents came from Puerto Rico. They came with no money, and my mother was worked in a sewing shop as a seamstress, worked a sweat factory. That's what I used to call them, sweat factory. And my dad mopped floors. And that was it. No money, lived on food stamps for many years, hated it. Anybody ever live on food stamps? Hated it. I'm like, why does my color money look different than some of the other kids, right? Now, a lot of us were on food stamps, but other kids had, you know, the greenbacks. They had regular money. I was like, Mom, why? And I would cry to school because she sent me to go buy milk or eggs or something and give me the food stamps. I was like, damn, how many of you remember the government cheese, right? I stood in line getting the government cheese. Went through all that. I grew up in the time of heroin. So imagine this. Imagine your children going to school with their backpack and your mother tells you, listen, when the guy's shooting up heroin, let him finish. Let him finish. Once he's done, then walk over him down the stairs. Yes, that was my life. That was my upbringing. Okay? And so, like many of you, I had a dream of having a better life, right? Sometimes I think it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens. So the way I reacted to it, unlike my older brother who went on to sell drugs and died in prison, right? He was a cocaine dealer. I don't know. I react to it different. I was like, well, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something different. So, you know, I went to, well, let me tell you my next thing here, right? What I basically want to say is this, okay? For all of you here, if you go way back, right? I'm taking you away. Don't worry, I'm going to talk to you about recruiting and team building. I'm watching my time here, okay? But let's talk about the most important things, which is this, okay? You were born. That's the beginning, isn't it? Right? The day you were born. That 1 second when you cried or whatever, you were born, okay? Now, if you've heard me say this before, don't throw it in the chat. Let the other people get a shot, right? Because some of you that are on my team, you've heard this before, right? So don't answer it. Let's see what everybody else answers. Okay. Does anybody know scientifically and proven by statistics? They had American statisticians and scientists and Europeans. They got together. You can look this up later on Google and YouTube. What are the odds of you being born? What are the odds of a human being being born? The miracle of birth. What are the odds? Throw it in the chat. What do you think? 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million, 1 in 100 million, 1 in a billion. Throw it in the chat. Let's hear these answers while I drink a little water. Let me tell you the answer because we don't have a lot of time. It's 1 in 400 trillion. 1 in 400 trillion. Okay? They say it's a miracle for a human being to be born. Think about that for a second. So I say to myself, just the mere fact that I was born, I'm winning. You're a winner. The fact that you were born, I don't know a lot about reproductive stuff, right? I don't know all that, right? I just know how to do the basics. But I just know all those little sperm, right? They're running, they're not running, they're swimming, right? They're swimming and they got to hit the target, that one egg. The odds of you being born are 400 trillion to 1. That's not Ed Ayala saying it. That is scientists. They did a long study to figure that out. YouTube it. You'll find it. Just put in the odds of being born. And tonight, if you see that, hopefully tomorrow you'll wake up and you'll say, you know what? Thank God I was born. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care who your mama was or wasn't good to you or your parents. It doesn't matter. You were born. That's why I don't accept, JC. I don't accept when people are negative. I don't accept it. Because why? You were born. You may not even have been born, so what the heck are you complaining about? I'm never negative. Ever, 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 ever. Never. Never. I remember one time I was in a stage, about 10,000 people, and people were doing mic running, and one guy was just trying to be a clown. You know, he goes, yep, I bet you would be negative. I said, okay, how could you get me negative? He goes, well, if somebody went on stage and shot you in the head, I think you'd be negative about that. And thankfully, I think quickly. I said, you know what? No, I wouldn't be negative. Because if I can even think about the fact to make a decision to be positive or negative, that means I'm alive. And if I'm alive, let's go. I survived it. Yeah, I've seen plenty of people get shot in the head and survive, by the way. So you were born. I'm going to give you something you may not know. Okay. God does not create junk. Now, this is not a religious Zoom today. Okay. But God does not create junk. Would you guys throw a 1 in the chat or a yes in the chat? Would you agree with that statement? God don't create junk. Okay. So if God does not create junk, that means You were born to be successful. You were born to be successful. You were supposed to win. You're supposed to be a champion. It's a fact because God don't create junk. But what happened? You were born to be successful, but you were programmed for failure. What does that mean, programmed for failure? Well, here's what it means. How many of you heard this growing up? Throw one in the chat. You heard this growing up. Go to school, get an education, study hard, get good grades, right? So you can go to a good college. And then you get a degree, and then I want you to go get a good job. And then I want you to work hard, get along with your boss, work yourself up the corporate ladder, and you'll get to the top of the company, and everything is going to be great. And you're going to get health benefits and a pension. Who heard that growing up? Who heard that? I heard that growing up too. Do you think Elon Musk tells that to his kids? Maybe to get an education, but not to go work for someone. Jeff Bezos don't tell that to his kids. Warren Buffett does not tell that to his kids. So what am I saying? If we were all born in a similar situation, lower class or middle class, right, family, right, we did not come in with money. I don't think anybody here started wealthy, right? Then guess what? We were programmed for failure. That's all. By our parents and our environment. But I got to ask you a question. Where did your parents get that from? From their parents. Where did they get it from? From their parents. It's generation to generation of misinformation. Because if you were born, as I said, to Elon Musk or right, Jeff Bezos, right, Warren Buffett, you know what you hear in the household? Yes, go to school, get an education, but you're going to own your own company. You're not going to get paid just on your efforts. You're going to build a company, an organization, so you get paid on the efforts of other people. You don't think Elon gets paid on the efforts of others? Yes. Look it up. He's got over 100,000 employees, maybe just in Tesla. So he doesn't have to put the wheels on the car. He don't got to paint the car. He don't got to assemble the car, but he overrides it. And if you would have been taught that growing up, you'd be thinking the same way. I'm not going to go get a job and work for somebody else. I'm building their dreams. Correct. So it's all about program. It's not your fault. So take a nice breath. Go, right? So here's what happens. All right, well, let me continue my story. I got off track. So I do that all the time, JC. So look, I was accepted into New York City Police Department. Did I want to become a cop? No. I just needed a job because I didn't want to go to college. I didn't like to study. I didn't like to read. I hated to read. Hate is a bad word. My mother says, Edwin, no diga eso, es una mala, but don't say hate. Do all the algo. But I didn't like to read. It was like, wow, right? It was like eating broccoli or something. I don't like broccoli. It was like, oh, spinach, I mean. But guess what? I said, well, I got to go make money. So my parents said, you better go get a job then. So you know what I did? I took the New York City Fire Department, New York City Sanitation Department. I think, corrections. I took police department, and NYPD called me up. Come on in for an interview, do all the testing, blah, blah, blah. I passed it. Here's the funny thing. Before I got into the police academy, when I heard gunshots, remember where I grew up, right? Harlem, New York. Gunshots all the time. No joke, no exaggeration. By the way, that's another thing. My mother, thank God, I love my mom, okay? Amazing woman. She's still alive. God bless her. Great values she taught me and my brother. She couldn't teach us how to get wealthy. She didn't teach us how to make money, right? Because she didn't know. She had a 4th grade education in Puerto Rico, right? My dad was a gangster. I'll tell you about him in a minute. He was a gangster, but I don't mean like a real mafia gangster. I'm just talking about he was like a slickster. He used to loan money, and he loaned so much money that the guy that loaned the money owned the social club. My father took it all over, and that was part of my upbringing, and hanging out in the social club, shooting pool with a bunch of old drunks. But anyway, but my mom always kept us straight, thankfully. Very religious woman, and she instilled great values in us. And one of the things she always says, she says, don't lie, Ed, and don't even exaggerate, because exaggerating is like lying. So here's what I'm telling you, okay? With no exaggeration, when I would hear gunshots, my mom always said, run in the other direction, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you grew up in a rough neighborhood, you know what I'm talking about, right? You hear gunshots, you hear trouble, don't go towards the trouble, run away. Well, all of a sudden, I take a test, I get into New York City Police Department, and I'm in the academy. And in 6 months, they programmed this brain to run towards the gunshots. let that marinate in your brain while I have another drink of water. What does that prove to you? That yes, even as an adult, you can program your mind. Yes, you can. We're not going to do it on this training, but I can show you how to program your mind. Absolutely is programmable. Now, here's the thing. People go, okay, well, I'm doing everything JC says and Wentz says, write down my goals, think and grow rich, write down my goals, repeat them. That stuff does work. It really does. Problem is, you do it for a month or 2 or 3, and then you go, oh, crap, this doesn't work. I didn't want to say shit. This doesn't work. But wait a minute. How do you think you're going to change your programming in 3 months when you've got 20, 30 years, 40 years you've been on this earth? You know the amount of hours that you've been programmed? So you got to be consistent, right? So anyway, I got into New York City Police Department. Yeah, I worked in undercover narcotics. By the way, whenever you're with me next, don't, I don't know. JC is funny. Sometimes people are next to me and they're like, oh man, like I feel funny. Like I used to do drugs or I still do. I'm like, who cares? That's my former life. I can care what you do. You can light up, do whatever the heck you want. That was just a job. That's all it was to me, right? I just had to get a paycheck. But anyway, yeah, I worked very short time in uniform. That's actually when I got promoted to detective. And I basically worked most of the time as an undercover narcotics detective. And what did I do? This was in the 90s, folks. Okay, it was a heavy-duty crack epidemic in New York. Those of you from New York, you may know that. Maybe you heard about it, right? And so I was on a search warrant team, a citywide search warrant team, and all we did was do surveillance. We would do street buys. What's called buy and bust. You buy, you bust the local guy, and then you escalate to get the guy or the girl that has the kilos in the house. That's the objective, right? It's to go to get the kilos, right? So executed over 1,000, at least, maybe about 1,200 search warrants in New York during my time. That's another thing. I didn't know how to execute search warrants. I had to learn, right? Can we all agree that learning how to give a presentation here, learning how to design a solar proposal is probably easier than knocking down a door where there's drug dealers with guns in there that want to kill you? Would you all agree? Throw one in the chat, please, right? Okay. So guess what? And I got a funny story. When I was there, folks, I did not know how to be a cop. I didn't know how to think, but I've always been a good student, and I guess I was a good student there because I wanted to stay alive, right? When I first got into the narcotics team, I was like, man, I could get killed here because every time I go through that door, those dudes always got guns. Yes, they always do. Wherever there's drugs, there's guns, right? So I'm like, I might get killed here. So I was a good student because I wanted to survive. When I got in business, I remained a good student because I wanted to get financially free. It was so important to me to get financially free. I was a good student. There's a message there, right? Put your ego in check. We work off the pile theory. The pile theory. You know what the pile theory is? When somebody's pile of money is bigger than yours, just listen to them. Get your ego out of the way. Be coachable, right? Stop listening to your next door neighbor, Freddie Funzolo, right? He can't teach you how to make money. You know why? Because his funds are low. Maybe I'm throwing some new nuggets that JC never heard. JC, you threw some good ones at the comp plan training. I love it. Anyway, so we learn from each other. So after that, folks, I ain't got time to tell you because I want to get into recruiting, but I got recruited into Primerica. You know how it was? I was visiting my mom. I was a cop at the time, and I'm visiting my mom, and the phone rings. She's at the next door neighbor. I pick up the phone for her because she was at the neighbor's, and I pick up, and this guy, I didn't remember his voice that well because it's been so long. And he goes, Ed, yeah, who's this? Remember, I don't live there, so he's surprised that he got me. He goes, this is Ed. I'm like, yeah, this is Ed. He goes, oh, this is Basil. Basil, right? I'm not talking about seasoning now. It's a person named Basil. I'm like, Basil, wait a minute. And he goes, Basil Morales, right? Actually, he was the son of my next door neighbor. She was my godmother. Anyway, so now I'm like, it clicks. I'm like, oh, this dude went to the military for like a long time. Lost track, right? You know when those people, you had lost track, haven't talked to him? And I'm like, what's going on, man? So a little chit chat. And guess what he hits me with? He says, hey, Ed, let me ask you a question. Are you open to making some extra money? I mean, are you open? And you know what I said? I said, doing what? Cop, right? Detective, right? You got to be legal. I'm like, doing what? And he says, well, it's too much to go into over the phone. It's like giving a haircut. You just can't do over the phone. Can we get together either Thursday or Saturday? And this was like a Wednesday. So I'm like, man, I'm $16,000 in credit card debt. I need to make money. You know what my take-home pay, by the way, folks, at that time when I was a New York City detective risking my life, it was just over $500 a week take home. Because after they take out the health benefits and dental benefits and the pension money, which pension, what the heck is a pension? People go, oh, I'm going to get a pension. Really? It's half of what you can't live on to begin with. What the heck? What kind of programming is that, right? I'm going to work for you for 30, 40 years. Yeah. And you're going to give me a pension. Well, if I can't make it on full pay, how the heck am I going to make it on half pay? But that's for another day. So I told Basil, I said, yeah, so guess what? He closed me, right? He gave me two choices. You want to get together Thursday or Saturday? I can't explain it over the phone. It's like giving a haircut. Pretty good, right? I didn't know. I never been in sales. I never heard that line. I said Thursday. He came over Thursday to my mother's house. He showed me, JC, the cheesiest presentation, I swear. Remember I told you I don't exaggerate, I don't lie. It has to be the worst. It was a Xerox copy of a flip chart, and the Xerox copies were horrible. You could barely see them. And I'm like, so anyway, but I want to make money. I'm $16,000 in credit card that I barely make over $500 a week. And he starts showing me this presentation. And I didn't understand hardly anything, seriously. But he said, listen, I'd like to invite you to our office in New Jersey to meet our vice president. Right now we're hiring. I think you'd be a good fit and you could work with us part-time. I said, okay, meet the vice president? Wow, sounds good. I never met a vice president. Never. I had a sergeant, a captain who was a pain in the ass, right? I mean, I don't know. I never met anybody who was a vice president. I grew up in the Harlem, in the ghettos. Sorry, I don't mean ghetto in the bad way. Sometimes people nowadays are, oh, you can't say that. That's where I grew up. Anyway, I never met a vice president in my life. I was like, okay. So I went from New York to New Jersey. Never forget the address, 600 Meadowlands Parkway in New Jersey. I'm sitting there. I invite my brother, of course. He was a cop too. He's way bigger than me. 6'4", big dude. We both got our 9mm on. We got our arms crossed. You ever have one of those guests that got their arms crossed like this? They look like they're in pain. Like they look like they're in massive pain, like they're unhappy. That was me and my brother. And the guy in front of the room is saying like the stupidest, cheesiest comments. Like, what did he say? Oh, I was so broke, I had 2 TVs. One for the picture, one for the sound. Ha, ha, ha. And the only people that were laughing were the other 8 jokers who were in the business, and I was not in the business. And I'm like, looking at my brother, I'm like, these guys are corny. We're out of here. We were about to leave. And thank God I stayed a few more minutes. The guy gets on the whiteboard. Whiteboard now, right? Dry erase markers, right? And he goes, if this is you, he drew a circle, and then he drew these 3 little sticks. He goes, if this guy under here named Michael, he writes a life insurance policy, you make $60. I'll never forget it. And then this lady here, Maria, and he goes, these 3 people, if they each write 1 life policy a week, that's $180 a week in overrides. I never heard the word overrides either. And I'm going, and he goes, so on a monthly basis, right? That's like over $500-something, right? To me, I'm like, oh my God, you know how much overtime I got to do to make that? You know how many people I got to lock up to make extra overtime? Yeah, telling you the truth now. If you didn't know it. Whenever you make an arrest, if it goes late, you get overtime, right? So I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money. So all of a sudden, I told my brother, I said, hey, we're not going anywhere. This is real good money. That recruited me. Meeting is over. I go right to Basil. I go, Basil. He goes, hey, so what did you like most? You know, the normal regular line. What did you like most? I said, listen, I just got one question. He said, what? What's your question? He thought I was going to ask about the life insurance policies. He thought I was going to ask about something like that. True story, folks. I said, how many people can I put in this deal? Is there a limit? He was like, no, as many as you want. I said, wait a minute, you're going to do the same meeting every week, and I could bring all my cop friends here, and when they sell life insurance policies, you mean I make money? He goes, yeah, bring them over. Wow. I was like, oh my God. Next day, I'm talking to all my cop friends. And what do they said to me? You're crazy, bro. I don't want to sell life insurance and I don't know how to sell it. And I'm like, wow. Then I talked to one of my buddies, Charlie. He was like one of the leaders. I said, Charlie, let's get these other cops to sell it, and you and I will make all the money. I was always looking for a way, right? And anyway, long story short, that was my start in Primerica, folks. The first year, I lost money between going to events and going to Jersey for training because New York wasn't even open to sell life insurance. If you don't know about Primerica, you got to get 5 state licenses to get paid in their compensation plan. Life insurance, life and health, 3 different investments, mortgage license, freaking marriage license. I don't know. You got to get all kinds of licenses there, right? I'm like, man. So most people would not make it in Primerica, right? They have an 18% pass rate. 18% of the people they recruit pass. So that means they got 82% that are body bags. We call them DOAs. They're dead. They're good. They're gone. I mean, when somebody pays money to go to school and they fail the test, you can't make no money. It's not like Build. I can recruit somebody tomorrow, they join Build, and I make money. No, you got to get licensed first. It was difficult. I wanted to quit. Every freaking week I wanted to quit. But for some reason, I just wouldn't give in, okay? And I know the reason why. It was because all the cop friends, all my cop buddies that told me it wasn't going to work, I wanted to prove them wrong. Now, I'm not saying that's a good strategy now, right? I'm above that. I'm mature now, but that's how I was. I was like, I want to prove these suckers wrong, right? And that's what got me successful. It was the fact that they were all against me, and I had to make it work. But did I want to quit? Heck yeah. Many times I wanted to quit. So don't think that you're different, okay? The key is just don't ever do it. Get around somebody, get around your leaders, and make that happen. So anyway, in Primerica, I did extremely well after the first year. I got around some great mentors, and I was very coachable. Worked my butt off. And guess what? Did extremely well. Made just over 10 million in commissions. Then I sold my business for about 3.2 million. I was done. Because one thing we did there that I hope we do here, and I know we're going to do here because Wences and JC already have the Smart Money Club, is teaching you to do the right thing with your money, okay? Because when your money goes to work for you, you ain't got to work for the money, okay? So, is that helping so far? Let me just look at my notes. I can't hear nobody.
Absolutely helping. Yes, sir.
All right, good. Sorry. Okay, so after Primerica, I did retire. Only about a year and a half. And I was just bored. Let me tell you something. When somebody tells you retirement is actually fun, it is for a while. You could only go on so many vacations, so many resorts, so many times, right? You go on. After a while, you're like, I mean, okay, I live in a big, beautiful home. I got a great life. I go away. But man, I don't have purpose anymore. And I used to think that was a bunch of BS, right? I was like, oh, please. Like when I was broke, right? I was like, please, these guys making millions. And they mean to tell me like they're bored or are they doing this because of purpose? That's a pile of crap. They're doing it for the money. You know what I found out? That is not true. When you make it, all of a sudden, after a while, you do have a purpose to follow your passion. This is my passion, right? I don't have another passion, right? I don't paint. I don't cook. I don't know how to do anything else other than narcotics work. I'm too old for that now, right? And building network marketing, direct sales businesses. That's all I know, right? So I love what I'm doing now, folks. I love it, right? So, when we sold, within about a year and a half, I got approached with a skincare product, and we turned it into as a startup, okay? Some of you, I think, were in it. You've told me before, in Bellamore, right? And we launched in 2011, right around when Organo Gold was around. I think Motivie was there. And, we wanted to break the first year record, but we didn't, okay? But we did create one record, and that was, JC, just the numbers are 64,432. That's the exact 64,432 people that we brought in a 60-day pre-launch, right? Pre-launch, okay? And then when they upgraded, they just had to put their credit card. They had to pay like a little shipping handling for the product to get to their house, right? It was, minimal investment on their part, but there was an investment that, put the credit card. We did in our first week, 2.4 million in sales, our first week. So we were proud of that. But here's the problem. That's where everything started going sideways because I was a 20% owner. My investment was only 20%. The other owner was 80% owner, and he did not have network marketing experience like JC and Wences. So as soon as when he came back from Europe on his private jet, very wealthy older gentleman, nice guy, but he just didn't know network marketing. And he found out that we paid out over $1 million in commissions our first week. I never saw somebody turn so red. I thought his tomato was going to explode. He was so upset. We would have a weekly corporate meeting. He goes, Ayala, I don't get it. You want to get state? You want this thing to go bankrupt in within 2 to 3 months? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you paid out $1 million. I said, yeah, we have a 50% cap. It's capped at 50%. That's the way it works. He had no network marketing experience, so he thought we were going to go bankrupt because at his company, right, he owned a bunch of Outback restaurants. He goes, our budget for advertising is like 8 to 10% a year. How are you going to pay out 50%? And I'm like, my friend, they're the ones who are doing the advertising. We got to pay them. So true story. I said, I can't take it no more. After about 2 months, I said, I'm out. I left. As soon as I left, guess what happened to the leadership? They started leaving. And then they give me a contract. They go, look, we'll pay you $1 million if you stay. Folks, true story. I still got that email with the contract today. We'll pay you $1 million if you stay. I'm like, okay, sounds good. However, you got to go to the field and tell them that we're going to cut the commissions from 50% max payout to 25%. And I'm like, no way. You're out of your mind. I was in the field. I no way, right? So I left. That's the true story of what happened there. So anyway, folks, listen. I do know how to build. We built the largest recruiting team in Primerica also. Not because I'm special, folks. Let me just tell you. You know what the secret is? I'm freaking coachable. That's one thing, JC, I realize about myself. Like, that perplexes me. Sam, that perplexes me. You're broke and you're questioning Sam Bean, who's made millions. You're broke and you're questioning, like, I don't get that one. I don't get it. I don't play golf, but if I wanted to learn, I go with a golf pro. I do exactly what he or she tells me. I don't know how to cook. Nothing. But if someone is a chef, how much? That much vanilla extract? Okay, that much honey, that much this. Okay, let me video you. I want to do it. I'm like that. And then I work my ass off, right? I'm just giving you some lessons here, okay? So make sure I don't miss anything. All right. Yeah, folks, I promise you could all win here. Let me go. I got one more little PowerPoint I'm going to share. I guarantee you guys will win here. You know, true story, as I'm getting this together. In Primerica, there was a time I wanted to quit. I remember a convention that was actually in Tampa Bay. And man, my tears went out. And I don't really cry because, you know, cops, you don't cry. You're taught not to cry. All the crap you see, all the death, right? And, but it was wild. They brought a guy on stage who was blind, and he made $250,000 that year. Blind. At another convention, there was a guy in a wheelchair, handicapped, paraplegic, made $200,000. No joke, folks. And I said to myself, wow, if that guy who's in a wheelchair, he had to go, folks, there was no Zoom in the 90s. There was no Zoom, right? We had to go to people's kitchen tables. Every appointment was in the kitchen table. He had to go in his wheelchair, man, and go sell life insurance. It's not easy, right? I've met people that could barely speak the language, and you know what they would do? Like, barely speak the language, right? They were Latinos, right? And the presentation was in English. You know what they would do? Smart. They would tell their vice president, look, could you record the presentation for me in English? And then I'll press play, and they get to the appointment, press play, and then gather their policies and, you know, come back. Think about that. There's always a way if you're committed. All right, let me get to my recruiting. Throw one in the chat if you want to learn the recruiting secrets of the big time pros. I'm talking about people that have built $100,000 organizations. I've studied this. This is my life. It's not a coincidence. We built the #1 recruiting team in Primerica. There's a guy here, Scott Mazzaros. He was there, okay? He knows he was there. We dominated, JC, and they had 200,000 agents, 200,000, okay? And it's not about me, it's the team that we built. And we were so proud every year in front of 60,000 people, which I believe that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have stadiums filled, folks. This company will have stadiums filled. And we got the trophy for the biggest recruiters in the entire company. We were so proud of that because we focused on recruiting. Now, anybody want to throw in the chat? Ask me, why do you love recruiting so much? Ask me that question in the chat. Why do you love recruiting so much? Easy answer. Because somebody blessed me and changed my world. Am I right, Sam? Somebody gave you a phone call. Somebody sent the text. And that one conversation That one conversation led to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. You took action. You deserve all the money you made. But somebody had to let Sam Bean know. Somebody had to let Kevin Marino. Somebody had to let Winston's or JC know, right? That this opportunity exists. I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about their opportunity when they made it before, right? Somebody. So what I believe is in giving back, paying it forward. If somebody thought enough about me to offer me the opportunity, right? That my first one was Primerica, which, by the way, you know why I mentioned Primerica here? Sometimes people say, you should have mentioned the company, because what about if anybody wants to go over there? I'm like, what? You go over there, you failed the IQ test. That is the most difficult company to work in network marketing, period. Show me another company you got to get 5 licenses before you can get a paycheck, and everybody's dying because they all quit. You know how tough that is? That's the worst, okay? This company pays mathematically, I already did the math, 10 times more. 10 times more per sale on the solar, right? On the solar, 10 times more. So I learned from masters. That's why I've been able to share this with you guys today. So I'm going to go through this real quick, okay? So look, a lot of you think you're in the solar business. You're not in the solar business, guys and girls. Freedom Forever is. Okay? Freedom Forever is the installer. They're in the solar business. You are in the distribution business of solar. Big difference. Okay? You're in the distribution business of solar. EXP, I'll give you an example here. EXP is now the largest real estate company in the world. They surpassed Century 21, Remax, whatever, right? Remax, Century 21, whatever. They passed them all. You know how they did it? Pay attention right here. Look, see the blue, right? The blue is the revenue, right? Am I right? No, that's the agent. Excuse me, over here. Agents is the blue, and the black, right, is the revenue. So notice when they started way back here, little revenue, small amount of agents. But as they grew the sales force, the agents grew. What happened to the revenue? There it is. That's your business. Forget about EXP. That is your business. Forget about Build Network. You don't own Build Network. You don't own Encore Solar. Uh-oh, Ed, you're confusing me now. JC said, I own my own solar brokerage. You do. You own your own solar brokerage within the parent company called Build and Encore. But you're building your own business. Forget about what anybody else is doing. Focus on how big yours is going to be. That's what we are going to build. That's what Team Fast and Furious is going to build, right? That's just real estate. I'm giving you an example. I could give you Primerica. I'm just giving you, it doesn't matter. As you build the sales force, you grow it, your revenue grows. Okay, so why recruit? I'm going to go real fast. Number one, because it's the most effective way to get warm leads, appointments, and sales. It's the most effective. That's what I love about our mentor program. Jabari closed 28 sales. Man, I know that story, right? Before I got here, JC sold that Jabari, man. JC's a promoter, man. Learn from the best. He's a promoter, right? And guess what? We got the mentor program. It's the most effective way. I don't care how good of a lead you buy. I'm not against it. I'm not against buying leads. I'm not against the cold calling. I'm not against door knocking. I'm not against that. But if you recruit somebody and they go, hey, my grandma wants to go solar, my uncle wants to go solar, or they're interested, they're open, they want to save money on their electric bill. Here is the bill. Are you kidding me? That's like a lay down, right? That's why. It's the easiest way to sell, folks. It's the fastest way to build massive distribution and big money. My mentor always said, Ed, you will never, ever, he used to yell at me all the time, a good guy. You will never make big money for the work you do. You will only make big money for the work you cause others to do. He says that's why there's employees and employers. Who makes the most money, the employee or the employer? I'm like, well, Joe, yeah, the employer. Well, guess what? Here, no one's your employee. They're independent contractors. But when they produce, don't you get paid? I'm like, yeah. Well, guess what? You can't make big money for the work you do. You leverage your time through others. That equals time freedom. I understood that one right away. You got to have a business system. You cannot be dependent on just when you sell. Okay? It's the only way to earn big money. Throw one in the chat if you want to make big money. You know what big money is? Especially in this company, it's 7 figures a year. If you're fiddle farting around with like 200 grand, 300 grand, I think you're thinking too small. But that's okay. It's whatever you want, right? But I'm just saying, if the money's there, why not get at least $1 million a year? It's life-changing, right? But you're not going to do it selling solar. You're not. Okay? You're not. Wait a minute. Whoa, Ed, I disagree. Jabari made 100 grand 1 month. Yeah, he's going to get burnt out if he does that every month, right? Sooner or later, right? He wants to spend time with his family. He wants to have freedom. We'll keep talking about this, right? But it's good that you sell, right? And I'll show you why. Salespeople wake up broke every day. I'm not saying not to sell. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody here at JC to go, oh, it said not to sell, so we're not going to sell. We're just going to recruit. Wrong. You do both. If you get sick, you have an emergency, you go on vacation, you don't close any solar sales, you don't get paid. Unless you know something I don't know, right? The company don't pay you if you don't sell. The only way to legally sell your business is by building a profitable sales organization. Now, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But maybe we may have ownership in this company. Maybe JC and Wences and I discussed it. Maybe we may have ownership. Well, when we have ownership, what are you going to sell? Your receipts of your paycheck? That has no value. You know what has value? An organization that you built that someone else can come and say, wait a minute, Sam, what do you make? Well, I don't want to mention Sam because he's 10 million or more a year, of course, right? But let's say somebody else, right? What are you making? 500 grand a year? I want to buy that business. And they pay you 2 or 3 times multiple. That's what happened with me. Okay? They paid me a multiple on the income of my primary financial organization. I sold it legally. I think we're going to have that here. Shh, don't say nothing. All right. You're only as good as your last sale. Write this one down. If you sell to survive, you got to sell to survive. You should be selling to cover your bills. You should be selling to cover your bills. But Ed, you mean I got to do both? Yeah. I mean, what could be more important to invest your time other than getting financially independent? I don't know. You know, during The Sopranos and all, remember The Sopranos, that good series? I didn't watch none of that crap. All my cop buddies would be like, dude, you didn't see I'm like, no. I'm going on appointments. I'm recruiting people. I'm going to meetings. I'm going to convention. No, my world was like this focus. Of course, my family, right? Yes. But a lot of people make excuses. The Xbox and all this crap, man. Get rich and then you could do all that crap. Most important activity in direct sales. You're always, it's one of my favorites. You're always one recruit away from finding a superstar. Throw a fire in the chat if you would have liked to be the one. Well, no, they're the owners. So yeah, let's just say you would have been the one that talked to Sam Bean, and Sam Bean said yes. And not only did Sam Bean say yes, he goes, you know what? Now that I figured out this subs, I want to make $250,000 a month, and I want to teach other people how to make $250,000. I don't know who recruited Sam Bean, but that person got to be excited. I don't know how you sleep, because that's like a guarantee. It's not maybe. The guy already did it. He already did it. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. Now I'm getting excited. Because you know how many Sam Beans are out there? Millions, not thousands. Millions. Okay? They say the 1% club, the 1% of the people that make the big money, right, in the United States, the 1% club. Well, what's 1% of 330 million people? 3 million. There's 3 million Sam Beans. There's 3 million Wences. There's 3 million JCs, Julios, Joshes, Urjans, right? Javier's. There's millions of them. But you know what the problem is? You go too slow through the numbers, man. And you may find them, but you might be 97 years old when you find them. I don't want to wait that long. I want to enjoy life, right? Okay. He or she that has the most people wins. Little people, little money. A lot of people, a lot of money, right? Pretty simple. All right. Okay. Let me go through that. This is another training. Don't worry about it. Okay. I always looked at it this way. All right. It's not who you know. It's who they know. Well, wait a minute. What if I don't know a Sam Bean? That's okay. Somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, somebody, bam, they come into the dual team, and there's your Sam Bean. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't quit and you work the law of large numbers, it's game over. It's just a matter of time. That's all. It's just a matter of time. Okay? These are concepts. These are big. Look, quantity equals quality. If anybody ever tells you this, oh, no. Forget about what Ed says and JC, these guys, man. They don't listen. It's not about quantity. I go for quality, baby. I go for quality. I want to talk to that guy or girl. Really. because they must have figured out in over 100 years of network marketing direct sales how to spot a champion, a winner. Do you have a machine? Do you have a special machine that you wave over somebody and it says champion, winner, heart of a champion? That's the, oh, boy, you become a billionaire if you could develop that machine where you could pass it over somebody and it tells you they're a winner. Art Williams, I love that guy, the founder of Primerica. You know what he said? Write this one down. He says, there's never, ever, ever been a test that could measure the heart of a man or a woman. You can't measure desire, folks. Right? When somebody has the will to win, they're going to go through every obstacle. One of my best friends, Jose Ardone, Sam knows him. He was making $500,000, $600,000 a month in Organo Gold. The guy went to like a 3rd or 4th grade education, came illegal as an illegal immigrant from Honduras. Didn't speak the language. Became a multi-millionaire. What's your excuse or anybody? There's no excuses, folks, when it comes winning in the big league. So there's no test that can make. You got to go through quantity, right? Listen, stop it with the training. Oh man, I'd be doing okay if I had more training. This is JC's fault. He don't got this in the back office. Man, hey, when we get that special certification, I'm gonna explode. It's game over. Stop it. If Freedom and Encore and Build said to you, listen, we're going to give you $10 million in the month of September. What's today's date? Today's the 16th. So there's 2 weeks left in September. In the next 2 weeks, listen to me now. You have to sign up 100 personal directs in the builder pack, $199. 100 in the next 2 weeks. But they guarantee you they're going to give you $10 million. Throw one in the chat if you would get it done. Let me drink some more water. Of course you would. So what's the point? It's not that you can't do it. It's that you don't want to do it. Because you can do it. The prize is not big enough. Is that it? Oh, well, wait a minute now. 10 million now. I'm going to stop playing Xbox. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing that. Folks, I acted like everything I did every day was 10 million, $100 million. That's the way I act. That was my mindset, folks, right? That's how it is here, folks, okay? You don't need more training. Stop it with that, please, okay? You got all the training. Listen, matter of fact, the day you walked into the doors of this opportunity, you have everything you need to win with. Everything. Do you know how to talk to another human being? Who's ever talked to another human being? That's it. You don't want to talk? Send them a text. I don't care, right? Of course you can, okay? If you have new people, you figure, you know what's amazing about this? I know Sam knows, I know JC knows this, right? It's amazing. Somebody doesn't know where this is in the back office and they don't know how to do that. Go put 20, 30 people underneath them. All of a sudden, they figure it out. Why? Because you have a reason to figure it out. Write this one down. Write this one down because I may not get to it. If you have enough want to, you always figure out the how to. If you have enough want to, desire, will to win, you always figure. That's human evolution. That's not network marketing. That's not direct sales. That's not build. That's human evolution. When a human being wants something bad enough, they figure out a way to get it. I'm sorry I'm yelling. Thank God you're not in front of me. I'll probably be spitting all over you. Folks, that's human evolution, man. We had to create fire, right? We had to create clean water. We had to figure shit out. That's human evolution. When you have enough want to, you figure it out. Another one. I forgot about these. These are old school gems. This presentation is 20-something years old. They don't change, man. You don't need your recruiter to be successful. You need the system. You don't need your recruiter. Your recruiter could quit tomorrow, tonight, because they don't like me. Oh, that guy, Ed Ayala, he yells too much. I don't like him. I'm quitting. Good. Are you going to quit? You don't need your recruiter. Oh, but JC and Sam and Kevin, they don't really help me. If they help me, I would be successful. Stop it. When you have enough want to, you figure it out. You got the system. You don't need to know more. You need to do more. Folks, another human evolution. We learn by doing. How many you learn? Throw one in the chat if you learn how to drive a car by driving a car, right? In the beginning, it was difficult. Oh, man, how the heck, it's a big 4,000-pound machine. I might have an accident, right? Now, all of a sudden, right, you could have a sandwich, you're texting, you're singing, and you're driving down the highway, right? Think about it. Everything you learn how to do, how to cook, right? How to make love. Now some of you might wake up, right? How many of you learn how to make love by doing it? Not by watching videos, right? You learn by doing it. How many of you are still practicing like me? I'm still practicing. That's okay. All right. Some will, some won't. So what? I don't remember. Listen, I don't remember all the cops that told me I wasn't going to make it. I don't remember them. You learn by doing it, experience. Another big one right there. We're almost done. Spend 80% of this. This is a big one because you'll drive yourself crazy. Spend your time with the right people. The people that are taking action and showing up, that's who you spend time with. Don't try to revive the dead. Don't spend your time. I tried it. You're not a psychologist, okay? You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, okay? You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Trust me, when somebody's looking for an opportunity, all you got to do is say, you want to make money? You open to make money? ¿Quieres hacer dinero? ¿Tú estás abierto a hacer dinero? Get, right? Mingun chang gangong. Same thing, just kidding. It don't matter what you say. If you just say money and somebody's looking to make money, they're going to say, yeah, what do you got? I'm open. You guys get caught up in the people that say no. No equals new opportunity to find a yes. You've heard that one before, right? The answer is always no unless you ask. And look, I want to end here, my last minute. If you don't take the no's, then you will have to give the no's to your kids and your family. Okay? If you don't take the no's, who's going to take them? Right? And here's the sad thing. Here's the thing, folks. Ready? Pay close attention here. 10, 20 years are going to go by. I can guarantee you they're going to go by, right? And God willing, we're going to be here together. 10, 20 years are going to go by. If you don't make it here, if you don't give it all you got, if you don't really make this one work, what are you going to say to your kids when they look you in the face and they say, Mommy, Daddy, Grandma, Grandpa, how come we couldn't go to private school like so-and-so, Sam B's kids? How come we couldn't go on nice vacations like so-and-so? How come we didn't have financial freedom like the Navarro family, the Rangel? Why didn't we have it? You'll never, ever be able to look those kids in the face and tell them you didn't have a shot, because you got your shot, and you got your shot tonight. And I'm so proud to be working with this team, because this team has the utmost integrity. Anybody could build products and compensation plans. But the leadership team we have right now together is second to none. And as JC says so well, okay, we want this industry to take notice. So folks, make sure you sell out, start recruiting, don't miss a meeting, and I'm here to serve you in any way that I can, because I love what I do. I have purpose now. Thank you, JC. I appreciate you for allowing me to spend time with the team here.
Fire call, brother.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
Mic drop. Let's go.
Totally.
He's still practicing six.
I think I'm gonna go practice some more.
Awesome job, Ed. Awesome job. You had me cracking up at the end too, bro. Awesome job, man.
You got it, bro.
Listen, we started off with over 100 people on this call, and there's still over 100 people on that call. That's a testament to the training. So thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. Listen, the greatest leaders have not been recruited yet, and they're going to be underneath you. I want to tell you this. When I look at all of you, I see the future millionaires of Build Network. God bless you all. Have a great night. Let's go recruit the world.
Yes, sir.